Hello, welcome, dudes and dudettes.
Whoa.
To another top 10 video with
Errol.
And you in.
our special guest, JD Kevlar from Press Select Interactive.
Yay!
Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
So today, on Drunk to Willies, we are doing a top 10 Nickelodeon 90s television shows, which includes live action, animated, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
No movies though.
All the stuff that we grew up with being 90s kids. Well, we've grown up to know and love about Nickelodeon that isn't SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Did it not make the list?
It
did
didn't
not.
We might find
Spoilers.
Fun fact, when Nickelodeon got started, it was a product of MTV, back when MTV used to play music videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in 1979.
I wasn't sure what year. Thank you for remembering that. We've been studying today.
Yeah, and hopefully you enjoy the video, and it takes you down a nostalgia look through our childhood.
It definitely took
And
us
your own.
down there.
All that was a comedy sketch show on Nickelodeon, much like what you'd see on SNL. Only this time starring a bunch of kids and relatively funny.
Airing in 1994, I remember being pretty funny with such skits as Ask Ashley,
Detective Dan.
Detective Dan, yeah.
Everyday French with Pierre Escargot.
Yeah. Of course, you have the epitomal, I don't know if I used that word right.
Good Burger.
Yeah.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
That's correct.
With the movie that came out later, featuring a song with Less Than Jake.
And featuring Abe Vigoda.
Oh yeah, and Keenan and Kel, of course.
Yeah.
Keenan and
Can't
Kel
forget
Mitchell.
Keenan and Kel.
I mean,
Where-
Keenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell.
Where they got their start. You know, came into the show Keenan and Kel, became a movie. They're just all out there during the 90s. This is where they got their start. And
Amanda
also,
Bynes.
Amanda
Who
Bynes.
could forget Amanda Bynes?
Before-
We wish her well.
When she was,
Yes.
you know, still there.
We're gonna
Back when
make
she was
her
amazing.
ugly list on
Loved her.
Twitter now.
You also had the Loud Librarian featuring Lori Beth Denberg.
This is a library! People are trying to study! Look at them! They need quiet! Not these cops and rude disturbances from the lights they do!
Basically just yelling at people the whole time. But
Which
she's
is what she was
also
good at.
she's also probably
Really
better
good.
known for the the panel member on Figure It Out who would always get it correct.
Yeah. Classic.
she'd always crush the children's
Yeah,
dreams that were on
honest
Figure It Out. They're like, I'm gonna win a trip to somewhere.
France and
They
a
probably
bicycle.
took her backstage.
Backstage.
And Lori, the Loud
And a window
Librarian,
house.
says, "No, you won't." All that also featured some fun, popular in the '90s music guest stars. I personally remember Coolio being on the show, and I think that like TLC was on there too at one point. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which made it even more like SNL.
Yeah.
The sketch comedies, and then at the end of the show they had a musical guest.
Solid acting.
It's great.
Just
Especially
like
for
SNL.
child actors.
You guys remember Pizza Face?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that's not on there. Yeah, Pizza
Yeah.
Face. That was a thing.
Nick, Nickelodeon. I'll lick it, Nick, Nickelodeon. Boom.
Sawyer Shorts was a short-lived TV show starting in 1991.
Was it short-lived?
Yeah, I won in 1992.
It only lasted a year.
Yeah,
stuck with
wow.
us.
And
Yeah.
what I remember vividly from that show was there was an episode where the kids, for some reason, decided to trim the nose hairs of the camp counselor, and his nose started bleeding profusely.
I don't know that actually
It
happened.
happened. It's the one thing I still remember. And they drank bug juice.
I remember an episode where the black girl calls into a radio show because she knows that a giraffe's tongue is black. And that was a question at trivia once, and I got it right.
Because it's a true fact.
Because of Salute Your Shorts.
Yeah.
I remember the episode with Zeke the plumber.
That was a good one. The episode where the camp counselor goes out with a male lady, and so a woman who delivers mail, and that was one of the jokes within the episode where he's like, she's a mail lady, and they're like, what? And yeah,
the 90s.
yeah, and also
transgender jokes.
I'm pretty sure they did, to my recollection. Then there's a really good episode about Capture the Flag episode, which is pretty epic, because any Capture the Flag episode of any show would be epic.
Yeah, or paintball community.
And also Donkey Lips and Budnick were classic 90s characters. So.
And the Awful Waffle.
And also, once again, we have a show with a classic theme song.
Camp Wanna.
We hold you in our hearts.
And when we think about you, it makes me wanna fart.
It's I hope we never part. Now get it right or pay the price.
Nick, 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 Nick. Nickelodeon. Nick is kid.
Nick Arcade was a fun show. It was a game show where young children, two teams of two, would compete against each other.
The game revolved around the kids moving Mikey, a cartoon character that showed up on an arcade screen who would move from square to square, and each square he landed on would involve one of the 4 Ps. It'd be a point, puzzle, a pop quiz, or a prize. And sometimes Mikey will run into danger, which will get rid of the kids' move and move it to the next team.
One of the most memorable things about Nick Arcade was the video challenge aspect, where the children would go to the various arcade they'd get to pick out of, I think it was like 6 video arcade games, and try to beat the Wizard Challenge. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the
Wizard
Wizard's
Challenge,
Challenge.
which was a set amount of points they'd have to match within a certain amount of time.
That was what was so great about Nick Arcade. I think Nickelodeon, for the most part, is really greatly known for their game shows.
Absolutely.
And a game show where, as
And
a kid,
cartoons.
you play arcade games. Not just any arcade games. You had Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in there, Super Mario Brothers 3,
Ghouls and Ghosts.
Ghouls and Ghosts,
Ghost Ship. I know it's not as well known, but
Yeah.
I liked it.
top-down shoot-'em-up, airplane arcade games. You know, you had kids playing video games as a game show. That's something you don't see anymore these days. And
Or ever again.
I feel it's really underappreciated.
Frankly, it was really intense too, because they'd get like 30 seconds to get
Yeah. at a time
12,000
limit.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Typical with any Nickelodeon game show, Nick Arcade also featured a nigh impossible to finish final round where kids were in a green screen room and had to maneuver themselves via monitors, where they had to collect various coins and dodge obstacles, which, as I said before, looks impossible, and I don't think anyone's ever done it.
I've seen people beat that.
Yeah.
Like the snow level where they like duck under the snowballs.
Yeah.
I've seen people do that, and then like they throw, and then, I don't know.
Its reaction
edits
times
them.
just were off with the kids, but I don't blame them because, yeah, that would be really hard to tell. Looking at yourself at a side view and knowing where you have to be, it seemed really difficult.
Absurd.
Here's another Nickelodeon 90s television show / cartoon with a very memorable theme song.
Not to mention the various memorable characters featured in the show.
Like the titular Doug Funny,
His dog, Pork Chop.
his best friend Skeeter Valentine,
His love interest, Patty Mayonnaise.
The Fonz, starring Roger Klotz.
Mr. Bone, the principal.
Mr. Bone, who
Yeah.
totally wasn't based off of Don Knotts.
And
Yeah.
who can forget the Beats?
Yeah!
Killer Tofu!
Featuring such songs as Killer Tofu and another one. I can't remember. And we can't forget Quail Man and also his James Bond ripoff. I can't remember the name of it.
And that was the fun thing about the show, though, is Doug's vivid imagination growing up
much.
as a kid in a nuclear wasteland.
Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon.
Number 6 is Legends of the Hidden Temple, arguably the best game show that Nickelodeon ever created. It pitted teams of 6 against each other, all based on animals such as the red jaguars,
Blue Barracudas,
Green monkeys,
the orange iguanas,
Purple Parrots.
silver snakes.
and I remember as a kid the green monkeys being a crowd favorite. But they had to do physical challenges in the game show. The first one was crossing like the YMCA pool on a waveboard. Well, they went
With
across it with a
shuffle
wire.
across it.
Yeah, they
Fog
shuffled across
effects.
it. Yeah.
They had dry ice in there, too.
Round 2 was called the Steps of Knowledge, where kids were quizzed.
By Olmec.
Round 3 was the Temple Games, which was more physical activity that usually revolved around the story that was told by Olmec for that episode.
And during the first 3 rounds, the winning teams would collect a golden idol.
Pieces of
Golden-
Pieces of
medallion.
golden idol,
Yeah, which they could use to escape the guards in the final round, the temple round.
Those guys were scary.
Yeah.
Nobody ever won. At
I'm
least
pretty
not that I've
sure
ever seen.
that they
Couple
were.
times.
I'm pretty sure they were very athletic children, though.
It
Yeah.
seemed really difficult, the time limit you had, the various challenges you had. Also, I'm a little skeptical because they never really changed the rooms. So the longer the show ran, you think kids would have gotten more used to it or something.
Yeah.
They were kids.
Watch it.
I always felt, as I was a
You
child.
heard it first from Ian. Kids are stupid.
I mean, yeah. Well,
They really are.
case in point, when I was a child watching this show, a young lad watching this show, I always felt that if those temple guards were running up to me and like wrapping their arms around me, I just kick them in the balls.
Yeah.
Kids are stupid.
I wonder if there was collateral damage from the
There
temple
must have been
guards.
cuts, yeah.
And they had to wear cuffs. I'm pretty sure.
It's also worth mentioning the Temple Run was more of an obstacle course as opposed to kind of the linear physical challenges like crossing the
That's true.
the
yeah.
pool and stuff. So they had to go through different like chasms or rooms.
And you had various ways you could go.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you were choosing, which was pretty cool.
I just felt you probably want to avoid climbing because that always seemed to take a lot longer.
It's tough.
Final.
It always ended with assembling the golden monkey, which the astute viewer will remember was 3 pieces of a monkey, and if you've been on the internet within the last 20 years, there's tons of memes complaining about how kids couldn't put it together when it was just 3 pieces.
I told you, kids are stupid.
It's the heat of the moment.
Yeah, so to win and
Really small
assemble
time
the monkey.
limit. Yeah.
Yeah. Are You Afraid of the Dark? The 90s TV show that gave PTSD to preteens and adolescents everywhere.
Yes.
Probably the only scary show on our list, and probably one of the scariest shows ever created. It featured kids sitting around a campfire at the beginning of the show, and one of them would stand up and they would throw magic pixie dust. They'd throw magic pixie dust into the campfire.
Courtesy of the Disney company.
Yep.
Where are we going with this?
In order to harness the evil soul of
The show featured kids hanging around a campfire, and every night they'd sacrifice a newborn infant.
One of the most memorable episodes featured a high school couple that got into a car accident on
Is that the
what was
ghost
it?
car
Railroad,
one?
yeah.
Yeah,
a
that's a good
railroad
one. Oh, the
And
mystery,
where-
the
yeah.
question, oh yeah. that's
where the jock of the couple, the boy, his girlfriend gets killed in a car accident, and he
Spoilers,
spoilers, yeah, spoilers.
by the way.
And he mopes around the entire episode. He's like, I miss my girlfriend. And she comes back as a ghost. And she keeps like telling him to like come with her. And he's like, whoa.
Oh, that's a different episode.
Yeah. And eventually, in an M. Night Shyamalan type twist, it turns out he's dead as well. Even though he's been conversing with his sister all the entire episode, but it turns out she's just lamenting that he's dead.
That's really funny. It's really funny that you mentioned Shyamalan, because apparently The Sixth Sense was an episode like it, where a kid, like, nobody will talk to him or respond to what he says except for this girl or something like that. I've never seen the episode myself, but apparently people are saying that's where The Sixth Sense came from. Was an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Interesting.
My personal favorites are the one featuring the clown.
Yeah, I was trying to look up the title of the episode. It's like Smokey the Clown or something.
Yeah.
He smoked a cigar all the time. Yeah.
Was that the one?
Yeah, because there was like smoke coming out of the door, and you could smell. Yeah, you could smell the cigar smoke.
Oh, okay.
And then the kid was challenged by his friend to go into the fun house and steal I forget his name, but it was a very catchy name. Steal his clown nose.
There's also an episode with Gilbert Gottfried. I don't remember what it was about, but I know he was in it. And of course you have the always amazing, always quotable episode with the ghost girl who lost her jacket.
Tiny Toon Adventures. Classic stuff.
Starring Buster and Babs Bunny. No relation.
Hampton something pig, some letter pig.
Plucky Duck.
Plucky Duck.
The show was a creation of Spielberg's, I believe, where Spielberg had some part of it. Amblin Entertainment. Amblin Entertainment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was presented by, I'm pretty sure, Steven Spielberg.
And therefore, Tiny Toons, I felt, was the predecessor to the now popular DreamWorks. The whole DreamWorks style of having it fun for kids, but also throwing in humor that is
enjoyable for people of all ages.
Good for adults as well. Yeah, Animaniacs was also another one of those predecessors as well. So Tiny Toons was up there as well. And it's just great stuff. The MTV episodes and just
a lot of pop parodies.
They had a lot of fun caricatures of famous old school actors like Bogey and what have you.
William Shatner.
One of the most memorable little side gags or MTV music video moments was when they played They Might Be Giants.
Oh, Istanbul. And Particle Man was pretty solid.
Yeah, Particle Man too, yeah.
Oh man.
Classic.
I also was a big fan of Money with Montana Max being like a James Brown. James Brown. When at the end he's like collapses and this guy comes out, puts his cape on him and starts walking around. He comes back. It's good stuff. It's classic.
I feel that's what made it so high on this list. I believe is just all the numerous references.
I was not a fan of Fadana though. Fadana. That was weird.
We didn't say Madonna. We said Fadana.
Hello.
Big up the masses.
Assume the crash position.
Kablam!
A pseudo-cartoon variety show starring your hosts, Henry and June. The show was set up like a comic book with various sketches, such as Action League Now,
the best,
Life with Loopy,
Prometheus and Bob.
Yeah.
900,000 years ago, an alien videotaped his attempts to educate a caveman. The Prometheus and Bob tapes.
The Offbeats.
This is fun, dude. That was entertaining.
And one of the, if not the greatest theme song to ever grace a show.
Another great Nickelodeon theme song.
Two-Tone Army by
the Toasters.
The main reasons why Kablam made number 3 on our list was Two-Tone Army by the Toasters, and largely in part to the fun comic book cartoony style that Errol mentioned, and the greatest segment of the show, Action League Now.
Always great. In fact, I'm pretty sure Action League Now on like a side Nickelodeon channel is like its own show.
Yeah, it got its
now.
own show.
Yeah.
That's how great it was.
I thought Prometheus and Bob was the best one, but that's okay.
Yeah, Prometheus and Bob was great too, but
what was so great about Action League Now though is like I'm pretty sure I had the Flash.
I had Stinky Diver.
You had Stinky Diver,
Stinky Diver, yeah.
Like they're all based on real action figures.
I thought that
it's so great.
I thought that the human what was he?
The Flash.
The Flash. I thought he was just
Like
a
a
He-Man.
He-Man
He was. I'm pretty sure we had him.
And
just not painted.
Diver
So
was
naked.
is it Human Diver? What's is
Stinky
there
Diver.
Stinky Diver.
Human.
He was a G.I. Joe.
Yeah, he was just a G.I. Joe. Yeah.
He had a different name.
And
It's
Meltman.
like Kia or something.
Meltman
it was probably
was
a G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe too.
Yeah.
Down melted.
So
But definitely a precursor to Robot Chicken.
I thought
Brilliant
that the lady
concept,
was
though.
Xena or something.
Yeah, some sort of Barbie ripoff
Yeah.
of sorts.
It's like a Barbie Wonder
Woman.
Woman.
Yeah.
Amazonian ripoff.
Amazonian.
Yeah.
I was ripping off those Amazonians.
And then Prometheus and Bob, as Ian
Great.
already mentioned, amazing, great. It was claymation,
It was
stop
clever.
motion.
It was clever.
Yeah, so you got a huge variety of things, which
And again-
stop motion with toy, stop motion with clay, and then like traditional cartoons with what the fizz?
Sniz and Fondue.
Sniz and Fondue.
I feel also it's a very overlooked show that used to exist. You know, not a lot of people remember it or have heard of it, and so I feel that's why it belongs higher up on the list to bring that memory back and to let more people know that there used to be some awesome stuff on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
And we're not even at number 2 yet.
Yeah, and super 90s because it has ska theme song.
Yeah.
Super 90s.
Super 90s.
Like Nick's kids.
As any child of the 90s, you remember the Rugrats as probably the greatest animated series that you ever saw as a child. Complete with an original theme song created by Mark Mothersbaugh of Devo fame, where he used a bunch of very unique instruments. I think some of them he created himself to give the show a very childlike feel and like a lot of bubbly sounds to incorporate in it. And it starred E.G. Daily as Tommy Pickles, one of the more famous female voice actresses, who also made a cameo on Friends.
Also, one of Phil or Lil was also a pretty famous voice actor. Or is it Chucky? One of them.
I think it's interesting that on this list we have a second cartoon featuring a bald child with an overactive imagination.
Yeah. Nickelodeon really liked that kind of running theme.
Yeah.
Doug had hair.
But it worked.
It did.
He was, okay, he had hair like Homer Simpson has hair.
Yeah.
No, he had the little squigglies on his...
Exactly.
Yeah,
Homer Simpson had
has
the
little
little...
squiggly things. It also starred
He also
Tara
had-
Strong, who's
he also had
who's
Mac
in
Duncan's
everything
initials.
now. Yeah, Tara Strong, another female voice actress.
What has she been in, Derek?
She-
I mean, JD.
That's fine. Well, she voiced, I think, was she in Powerpuff Girls? I'm pretty sure she was in
Probably.
Powerpuff Girls. Tara Strong's also in My Little Pony, I believe, Friendship is
Yeah.
Magic. And she also
It is.
plays
True story.
Farrah in Mortal Kombat X. Fun fact.
Harley Quinn in the Batman games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Newer Batman games.
See, we can't forget also in Rugrats, Reptar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Grandpa.
Grandpa
he
was...
was a bit of a pervert.
He was.
He liked Lonely Space Vixens.
Yeah.
He also liked Satchmo, which they thought they mixed up with Sasquatch.
That was
yeah.
a great
So
episode.
they were all scared of. They were all
Yeah.
scared of one of the greatest jazz blues players of all time.
And they had an Indiana Jones episode, which was classic. They went on an adventure in Tommy's basement. It was great.
So good.
They
Idol.
had, there's an episode where they're all superheroes and one of them had invisibility, but Angelica like cheats and like hits them or something like, hey, how can you see me? It's like you got dotted lines all around you because they're drawn with these dotted lines.
But I watched Rugrats almost every single day of my childhood. Not because I had cable on TV, but I went to a friend's house who had recorded episodes of it, and he had Nickelodeon.
Hey, we did too.
That's how dedicated I was to watching the Rugrats.
Nice.
Or just Rugrats.
We had a whole VHS of recordings, and the best part about the recordings was the commercials we'd also recorded. So you had like G.I. Joe and
Crossfire!
Nintendo
Old
Super
cereal.
Scope.
Old cereal
Yeah,
commercials.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Rugrats,
It also dealt with absentee parents, because the kids
they were
always
terrible
had
at their job.
The
as
kids had to
being
hang
parents.
around, and that's why they went on fantastical imaginary adventures, because none of their parents would play with them.
Was Stu an inventor?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Oh
I'm
my
sure if I
god!
made that up.
The episode with the robots. The robot clowns.
Mm-hmm.
That
Terrifying.
creeped the crap out of
Terrifying.
me. Because they'd like bleed oil and stuff
Yeah.
every time the babies would kill one. Yeah, that was an intense episode. I
Yeah,
totally
and
forgot
like
about that.
Angelica's mom was a very power-hungry, like lawyer type person, so
Yeah.
she was never.
She was
around.
always like in business suits on the phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that probably impacted Angelica's personality. Rugrats also borrowed a lot from The Great Escape. Every time the babies got out of their little playpen thing that the parents put them in at the beginning of the episode, Tommy is very ingenious with his escape
It's like
plans.
Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
He is, I've read this, I'm not going to take credit for this. He's Doctor Who. He's got a magic
Interesting.
screwdriver that he
Yeah.
carries around with him all
It's a
the
good
time.
point.
Yeah.
He doesn't pull out of his diaper?
Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
Ew.
Poopy diaper. Oh my god, the episode where Chucky, I think, is afraid of going potty training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about Reptar on Ice.
Good stuff.
I love that
The
episode.
mini golf episode.
So great.
Oh man, good stuff. Honorable mention, speaking of Nickelodeon 90s game shows, Guts was a fan of mine.
They really liked you.
Was a favorite of mine, with Mike O'Malley as the host, and Mo.
You also had the
played
aggro crag.
The
Global
aggro
Guts.
crag. When you get to the top and they slam that down.
Yeah.
Speaking of unbeatable finals, this was not.
No, that's
unbeatable.
true.
They
Very
slam it down, and all the silver, glittery, shimmery confetti would shoot out, and I was always concerned for their lungs because I'm like, oh, they're gonna inhale all that steam and that fog and that confetti.
It's
They're all
asbestos.
breathing heavily, and the aggro crag just looks asbestos filled. But it was a fun show.
Gotta keep out the rats.
And it was international.
Yeah.
So that made
Global
it.
Guts.
Global Guts.
Global Guts.
Mo! Honorable mention for, as far as theme songs go, on Nickelodeon, Angry Beavers.
It makes an honorable mention.
Yeah. A very Herb Albert-esque.
Starring the voice of Invader Zim.
Honorable mention, Secret World of Alex Mack sadly did not make our list. But Larissa Olenek, I love you.
He wanted it on the list just because he had a
You did.
crush on Alyssa Olenek. Nothing about the fact that she turns into Capri Sun.
You're my first
anything
love.
like
Or
that.
Jessica Alba was on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Number one is The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Our two favorite redheads.
Yeah. Okay. It's probably my favorite Nickelodeon television show. Seeing as it's number one, we're accepting. The theme song done by the band Polaris, which kind of disappeared, just like in the episode that they were featured in, where they were playing Pete's favorite song. Petunia, is that the Pete's?
Yeah, Petunia was the
Petunia,
tattoo.
Pete's tattoo, which he could big dance with his arm.
Open Face, the bully.
Open Face. Pit Stain.
Pit Stain.
And can't forget Artie, strongest man in the world.
School mascot, which was a squid in the bucket.
Squid in the bucket. They hit their math teacher was one of the members of Violent Femmes.
Steve Buscemi played What's-Her-Face's dad.
Yeah.
There's a bunny at my door. Come in, Mr. Bunny.
Stu the Bus Driver, and
Driver.
also Iggy
Fucking
Pop
love that guy.
is the other girl who grew up to be super hot.
The Girl Scout girl.
Yeah, I can't remember any of their names. We should have looked
Teddy.
this stuff up. Basically, what we're trying to say is this show is filled with amazing classic characters. Even like one-off characters for just the one episode.
They're super memorable.
Super memorable. Super memorable. And the theme song super memorable. Various songs throughout the series by Polaris. Super memorable.
The show puts you back into the mindset of a kid back in those days.
Definitely.
You know, just the wonder and curiosity and adventure.
It also gave us the best contestant on Figure It Out, Danny Tamborelli.
Yeah.
Tamborelli,
Who's in a band.
We've mentioned before.
Yeah.
He is in a band.
And then the other brother who
went into sound and light. He went into production. The older brother.
Except for
He was
Slackers.
in Slackers.
He was in Slackers.
That's all I remember.
Well, he was also in 40 Days and 40 Nights.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
One of my favorite episodes, well, other than there's an Adult Swim episode and any one with Mr. Frosty. Oh, and then the night one where they were all trying to stay up all night.
Oh,
and then of course the one where Pete's trying to figure out the song that he saw on his way. He was running late for school, took a shortcut, passing a garage. Polaris is playing Summer Baby in the garage, and he's like, it's my favorite song in the whole world, and he's trying to remember it, so he starts his own band and starts doing a radio show. But anyway, my favorite episode is the first episode where they're on a road trip, and it's great.
Yeah.
Of course, there's also all the shorts. I think I think those might have come before the show.
Nickelodeon
got
had
picked
a
up.
bunch of shorts before there was a full-blown show, I'm pretty sure.
Basically, every episode's classic.
They're all great
I'm
episodes.
I'm a dot. The little Pete plays Ferris Bueller, meets the meter maid person, gets the president marshmallow stuck up his nose. Classic.
The bowling ball.
I think it was called Rolling Thunder or something.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure their grandfather in that episode was a super
Racist.
popular. No. Super popular actor.
Yeah.
Artie
tries to fight the bowling ball.
Oh man, yeah, Artie. Any episode of Artie is just great. Yeah, there's so many good episodes.
The inspector, where Pete tries to become a clothes inspector.
I don't think he tries to become
Inspector 40
No,
something.
little Pete wants to be. He wants to know. Yeah, he sees the Inspector 47 or something.
Yeah.
Does he? Yeah, he wants to meet him, and then he meets him, and the guy like cleans the chicken wings, and he stacks them on his plate all nice.
Oh,
and
yeah.
his fingers are clean.
The Orange Lazarus, where Teddy has a seizure, and it's really creepy.
Yeah, messed up.
Yeah. Jeez. So that was our top 10 Nickelodeon shows from the 90s that we grew up with and we love.
Yeah, and have stood the test of time. They're best pieces of television programming, and I hope you enjoyed our walk down a nostalgia lane.
We definitely did. Do you agree with our list?
If you did, leave a like and or subscribe.
It really helped
If
me
you
out.
did, let us know what you think is the best 90s television shows from Nickelodeon.
If you didn't watch this,
go
if you didn't watch this, then you don't know we're saying this right now.
Whoa!
Oh,
Hashtag 420! It's terrible.
I declare this meeting of the Midnight Society closed.
Good night, everybody.